With all the snow in the Sierra, California hit a major milestone today for the statewide snowpack. Good evening. I'm Laura Painter. Thank you for joining us. We've already hit the April average, and it's only the 11th of January. ABC 10's Luke Clary reports from Phillips Station.
Chains and snow tires are a way of life up here in the Sierra, where the snowpack is off to a strong and early start.
Life in a snow globe. A mountain cottage in historic Phillips Station.
You come home and you have hot chili on the oven or the stovetop and a hot fire, and you're like, the power's on. I'm blessed.
It's a life passed down through generations to Jack and Abby Pearson.
You can see the snow out your window.
Yeah, it's just what I know, you know?
Each winter, the Phillips Station Snow Survey happens in her backyard.
I think it's a DWR tradition, too. I think they like to drive up the mountain.
The Department of Water Resources says California hit a major milestone Wednesday when the statewide snowpack surpassed the April 1st average, a whopping 2.5 months ahead of schedule.
We're definitely looking to be in a better situation than we were last year, where everything shut off for a good 3 months. And there'll be that opportunity to continue to make some additions to that snowpack before we get to April 1.
Snow is piling up already since the last snow survey here on January 3rd.
4.5 more feet of snow.
Since just a week ago.
Yeah. You want to go outside, buddy? Come on, let's roll.
Some take to the deep snow better than others.
We're kind of in a snow globe right now.
And there's no telling where exactly this is heading. But there are even more storms in the forecast ahead.
So good news means we'll likely build more snowpack with these storms.
We'll have enough to slide our skis on. That's what I think.
That and then some.
Time will only tell if we'll be skiing into April, May, or even beyond. But as for now, the Sierra snowpack is looking pretty good this year.
Well, Luke, I'm astonished by that footage you got there at that woman's house. Well, take a look at this, a live look at traffic conditions right now. Slow going along Interstate 80. The roads still a little tricky tonight. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods tracking a brief break for us tonight.
Yeah, you're right about that. Storm system number 7 moving to the north of us here. This is a string in 9 storms that we've been tracking since the end of December. Just a few scattered showers left over for the downtown area, as well as for the foothills and the Sierra. Things much quieter tonight for the Sierra than what we saw last night when I-80 was shut down. Got about 1/10 of an inch of rain for the valley, 1/2 inch to 1 inch across the coast, and then close to about 1/2 inch for some parts of the foothills. This storm system in particular was hitting places a little farther to the north. So those of us in the northern San Joaquin Valley just didn't get a whole lot of precipitation, or for the mother lobe. As in terms of those winds, gusts earlier today at 30 miles per hour, those winds down to 11 miles per hour right now. Still have that winter weather advisory in effect until tomorrow morning. We've got some slick spots and still some icy conditions in the Sierra, and our flood watch continues as well through tomorrow morning. And that's because we've had 14 days of consecutive rain. That is going to put us in the top 5 of consecutive days with rain, the top being in 1992 with 16. But as Laura was mentioning, we are going to get a break from this rain. As you can see, Thursday, we're starting things off dry, and it'll be the break before we get to system 8 and 9 in our storm lineup. That hits us by Friday in through early next week. And of course, it's holiday weekend, so we'll have more on that coming up, Laura.
All right, Monica, thank you. Tree removal crews have been working around the clock to clear roads and take away downed trees from homes and streets all over our area. ABC 10's Carly Gomez has some insight into which trees may be more prone to falling and how you can protect your property when new storms arrive.
Had crews working day and night.
As cities across California recover from flood and wind disasters, many homeowners are turning to private companies to assess and remove tree damage. While most trees have succumbed to oversaturated soils, coupled with those strong wind gusts, UC Davis landscape architect Lucas Griffith says native tree selection is also important.
Deciduous trees lose their leaves and thus are much more resilient to high winds. The evergreen trees are capturing that wind and really feeling the force of it.
Residents in East Sacramento say they have noticed a few things between the difference of the standing trees and the fallen trees. They say things like redwood trees and some of the cedar trees have been the ones to fall more. Meanwhile, trees along this street have a ton of sycamore, and they have been the ones to stand, being able to be a little bit more flexible. But one of the major reasons has been due to maintenance.
Preventative maintenance is important. A lot of people wait till it's too late.
Over the last 20, 30 years, we've done great works conserving water. And that has actually directed trees to grow roots at the surface of the lawn. And so they actually aren't getting as deep of a root structure as we'd like.
Newly planted trees may be protected with stakes, but larger trees may have to be watched and assessed if any begin to lean.
In the end, some of that shaking is actually really good for the tree. They build roots in their structure in response to the wind. And so if it makes it through this, then you've got yourself a very resilient tree.
If you happen to lose a tree, replanting more native trees that drop leaves and have deeper roots like valley oaks or sycamore would be ideal.
But who's responsible when those trees fall on your home or your car? I spoke with an insurance expert to find out. We'll have the answer later here on Late News Tonight. We are following a developing story along the Central Coast. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office is now assisting in efforts to search for a missing 5-year-old boy swept away in the raging floodwaters of the Salinas River. In San Ardo, more than half a dozen cars were submerged in water and several families had to be saved by officials. The boy's mother was saved from her car by Good Samaritans. The boy was swept downstream. Every year, military planes fly into hurricanes over the Atlantic to collect data for forecasters. Those same aircraft are in California right now, flying into the atmospheric rivers forming over the Pacific. Reporter Brandon Ritterman flew with the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron to see their work in action. Take a look.
We've just landed after nearly 10 hours aboard this C-130 aircraft, part of the Hurricane Hunters unit, one of 4 such aircraft that's been positioned here in Sacramento because of these atmospheric river storms that we've had pounding Northern California ever since the new year. There's actually a critical lack of information over the Pacific Ocean. You can't always see the atmospheric river because it's at 10,000 feet and clouds can obscure the satellite imagery. So this plane is designed to go out and get even more accurate information, not just visuals really, but measurements of what's going on in the air to help forecasters nationwide. So we're going to show you how they do that coming up on ABC 10 at 6:30 tomorrow. Make sure you tune in To The Point.
He's got the assignment of the night. These aircraft will spend 2 weeks flying missions from Sacramento. Another government plane owned by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is flying similar missions from Hawaii to collect data further west.